this is Ted Kelly with another Test Hospitality Minute. Hey, today we've got a super great guest on. His name is Ramon Reyes. He is the general manager at the Omni hotels at the CNN Center in Atlanta, and we are excited to have him on today to talk to us a little bit about all the good things that's going on in Atlanta and all the good things that's going on over at the Omni. Good morning, Ramon. How are you today?
Good morning. Thank you for having me. Doing great.
Well, awesome, man. We thank you for coming on and talking a little bit about the Omni and Omni hotels and telling us about all the good things that you're doing down there. But before we do that, tell me a little bit about you, your background, how you got into hospitality and how you ended up in Atlanta. It looks like you moved a little bit from hotel to hotel. So tell us a little bit about that journey.
Yeah, thank you. And I've been very fortunate to have a pretty good career. I was fortunate enough, and I wish I could say my story was unique, but I was fortunate enough to start as a doorman in our industry. And, start as a doorman. I remember walking up to the general manager one day and saying, hey, look, I'm probably making more money than someone my age should be making. I'm enjoying what I'm doing. I love it, but I don't want to be a doorman for the rest of my life. And, tell them I want to cross train. I want to be in your chair. I want to do more. And his exact words were go for it. And that stuck with me and certainly has impacted the way I lead today and try to open doors for others. But subsequent to that conversation, cross-trained, worked in every department and every hourly position and was fortunate eventually to become a supervisor. Interestingly enough, ended up supervising everyone who trained me and brought me up, so to speak. Then it progressed into management. That was a stage in my career where I was fortunate to be basically promoted once at least per year, and eventually became director of front office, director of housekeeping, director of rooms, director of operations, and then subsequent to that, general manager. And I'm fortunate to be running the fourth hotel for me in my career today. And I tell everyone that if I can start off as a doorman and eventually end up being general manager of the largest hotel in our company today, then I think that story is one that it hopefully proves to everyone the possibilities of a career in our industry. And as I mentioned in the very beginning, it's not unique to me. I think many folks that you talk to in our industry have had a similar story. Maybe not a doorman, maybe a server. I have an identical twin. He started off as a restaurant server. He's a general manager today as well. So hopefully, again, that highlights to folks that a career in hospitality can flourish. It's just about getting your foot in the door.
Oh, awesome. So you're in what I call the Mecca, right? So tell me a little bit about the industry of hospitality there. You guys, I know, are trying to cultivate and nurture the next generation of talent. Tell me, what are you guys doing there, and kind of how are you kind of working to pull together the next generation into the hospitality world?
Yeah, first and foremost, I think as an industry, we haven't done as great of a job as we could have in the past of telling the story of a career in hospitality and the possibilities. You talk to some of the younger folks, whether it be in high school and college, and say, what do you want to be when you grow up? And then, you hear the lawyer and doctors and different things of that nature. But you rarely hear someone say, hey, I want to work in a hotel. And so I think it's important for us today to, especially in the state that we live in right now, with everyone trying to recruit top talent, that we do a better job of telling the story of a career in our industry, the possibilities. Again, you can start off as a doorman, be a general manager, or you can come in and explore. And so taking on the mantle, so to speak, and not just me, many in our industry, of doing just that, going to the high schools, going to the universities and talking about what a career in hospitality looks like. And I think it does start as early as high schools. Here in Atlanta, we partnered with Cristo Rey, a local high school that serves underprivileged kids, and we got 4 high school students that'll be with us starting in September. And I think about the possibilities, and if I had that when I were at that age, how that would have opened my eyes a little bit earlier on and helped me understand what hospitality was all about, and have them to eventually talk to their friends and say, I spent a year or semester at a hotel, and you wouldn't believe the possibilities that exist there. So it starts there, and it also starts with, or is part of that, is having conversations with college students. I, in particular, spent a lot of time at the Georgia State University, Kennesaw State University, now Morris Brown, which is an HBCU here as well. And I spent time there, not because I have it, but because I think it's important. And it's an investment in the future talent. As you mentioned, cultivating that talent for the future, speaking to these students, saying this is what a career will look like in hospitality. And this is how I grew up in the industry. And hopefully through that storytelling helps them understand that hopefully we can be part of their journey as well. So it's partnering with organizations, whether it's HBCUs and other local universities, and hopefully helping those that are on this journey become solid and strong, and those that are not thinking about being in hospitality, give us a look and give us a try, and hopefully do what most have done in this industry, is fallen into it and fallen in love with it.
Yeah, and not only that, one of the other things that you do is a part of that, trying to reach out and find those guys and grab them and put them in the hotel environment, is that you're actually supporting them as they try to go through college. And that's a big deal if you find a way to connect the dot, because most of the time, guys that look like us don't usually have the money to just, here's a check, we're going to school. They're usually trying to put, pieces together to make school work. So the fact that you can A, engage them in the hospitality industry, but B, also find a way to possibly provide a means for them to support their school, that just double downs on the effort, right?
Yeah, I think, great points. And to that end, our Omni Care internship program, it does just that. I mean, we're bringing students in over the summer and, other breaks that they may take throughout the year, and giving them a paid internship and over and above that paid internship, the opportunity to really just kind of submerge themselves in our industry and make sure that they really come away with a solid experience. And so, similar to that Cristo Rey partnership, we've had students here this year from universities here in Georgia and outside of Georgia, and we're looking forward to bringing on. We actually already have the positions for 2023 posted, saying, hey, look, if you're thinking about an internship for next summer, let's talk now and make sure that we solidify a plan for you that will help you just build stronger skills and your acumen, and hopefully go back to the university and be able to share through those experiences. More of a beyond theoretical approach to different things that we see in our industry.
Yeah, that's awesome. Do you find that there's an abundance of students interested in hospitality, or do you find like you're having to almost sell them on the idea of thinking about hospitality? How hard is that?
It's amazing. I love speaking to students first and foremost and cultivating that talent for the future. I have found that there's a tremendous amount of excitement about the industry, and the future looks bright. I'll tell you that some of the interns that we brought in aren't hospitality students, but through speaking to them and saying, hey, look, if you want to be in marketing, we have sales, we have operations, we have everything that you would want within an industry. And more importantly, especially for college students, they're still going through that process of evaluating what they want to do in the future. And they may have one major today and change it tomorrow. Exposing them to our environment where you can see everything in all of these different departments really brings them to the point where say, you know what, I want to try that. I love what I see over there. I love what I've been exposed to through this internship program. So I might reevaluate what I really want to do in the future and what I want to major in. But to answer your question, I definitely think there's a tremendous amount of excitement there, both in the hospitality sort of major and field and outside of it. Half of the interns that we had here, as I mentioned, this summer were not hospitality majors, but they have found a home here. Two of them have decided to stay here with us permanently. Okay.
And I see that the Morris Brown is revamping.
Yes.
Their hospitality school. I think Dr. Kevin James is doing some great stuff over there. I know they're building a hotel over there on campus, I think, as well, which is another great way to engage kids and get them, at the ground floor, I should say. And then a hospitality program. Are you guys working together in conjunction there?
I've had a couple of conversations with Dr. James and Morris Brown, and as I mentioned, not because I have the time, but because I'm passionate about our industry and also passionate about their story and what they've been able to accomplish. Dr. James, in particular, under his leadership, I volunteered to teach a course last semester, and so that's how invested I am in that partnership. And our goal is to grow it. Hospitality was one of the biggest, components of the university for many, many years. And we hope to partner with them, even though we won't be their hotel on campus. We want to be their hotel of choice outside the campus, and more importantly, partner with them in a way where we can help educate their students.
Yeah, so you have got some good some good roots to work with, being just in the location where you are with Morris Brown. I think Georgia State has a hospitality program.
Yes.
Not to mention you've got Morehouse, Spelman, Clark. Oh my goodness, you start throwing that out, you got so much fertile ground there from which to work with,
Yeah.
that you could really be a great shining star example of how you nurture and bring in the next generation of hospitality talent.
Yeah, I'll tell you, Kennesaw State is a fantastic program. Dr. Jackson is there and was it previously at Georgia State. He's doing a tremendous job with leading those students. We're actually in talks with inroads to partner with HBCUs and bring interns here as well. And so to your point, the Spelmans would be part of that. The Morehouse would be part of that, right? Clark. So we would see a tremendous amount of talent. And I think it's important to be intentional and for many years, right? And I think there's a tremendous amount of talent that exists at every school, and HBCUs being part of that as well. But many of those students aren't afforded the opportunity to learn more about hospitality, learn about a career in hospitality. And I'm looking forward to helping change that and bringing in some talent, and at the same time, impacting our diversity, equity, and inclusion efforts as well.
Yeah, so you've got the foundation in place. You also should connect with a good brother down in Miami. I think his name is Brian Barker, who's also doing some great stuff with hospitality and trying to bring in kids to their program. So we need to definitely connect you with them.
Certainly.
And then not only that, obviously we want them to get in the industry, but you also, and you probably already have, connected with the NABHOOD guys, who is the National Association of Black Hotel Owners, right? Yep. So not only we want them to work and learn the industry, but at some point we want them to own the hotels too, right? So exactly. need to connect with Andy Ingram in that group, because that is phenomenal program that they have in trying to attract folks into the hotel ownership side. I don't know if you were at the recent conference down in Miami, I think last month, but they had a great conference down there, and they always have students coming in from the local area just to participate in the activities and kind of see how things go. So that's a must do. If you haven't been to that, that's something you should probably check out at some point.
Yeah, I have not, but I definitely look forward to attending in the future.
Yeah, so I will definitely make sure I connect all of these guys with you when we connect on LinkedIn, so that you've got access to them and you guys can share success stories and figure out how to build it up even bigger. So tell me this, Ramon, what is it, or how is it that kids there in the local area, if they wanted to reach out to you, say, hey, I'm interested in hospitality, I would love to learn more about it, how would they find you? How would they, reach out to learn more about it?
I'm very active on LinkedIn, and so they can easily find me there. Ramon Reyes there on LinkedIn. And I'll tell you more of what I'd like to do on LinkedIn is tell the story of our industry and tell the story of the top talent that we have, in hopes that people see that resonates with them and they say that they want to be part of it. But I also have a lot of dialogue with prospective candidates or people that are thinking about coming into our industry, and try to do my best to give them the advice that I would have wanted when I was at that stage. And so whether it's messaging me there or actively engaging in some of the communications that I have or posts that I have on LinkedIn, I'm always available. And in many ways, I've had conversations with college students that aren't even here in the local market that are looking for guidance, and I'm always happy to do it.
Man, that is awesome, man. I appreciate everything you're doing to bring up the next generation of hospitality talent, and I'm so proud of the work that you're doing down there.
No, thank you very much. I think it's important work. We all want to participate in it. And I think, to the points that you made in the organizations that are doing great work about with regards to having minorities move into a stage of ownership or even senior leadership, cultivating the talent today, focusing on not the growth that could take place within the hotel, but the growth that could take place outside of the hotel is important to me. And so I'm invested in it and looking forward to doing more of it in the future.
Wow, thanks again. This has been another Ted's Hospitality Minute. Thanks so much for joining us, guys. We'll see you next time.